Not that long ago, people were speculating that Ferrari driver Sebastian Vettel might retire from the sport as Ferrari chose not to renew his contract and he was left without a seat for 2021. However, Racing Point would sign him, securing his F1 career for the foreseeable future. Vettel has now spoken to Die Zeit candidly about how he isn't as close to Ferrari as he once was, while providing a timeframe on how long he wishes to continue in F1. I'm your host Dylan Shelley, and first up on Formula World, when is Vettel planning to retire, and his thoughts on Guardian Angels. Vettel began by analysing his journey with Ferrari so far. This year is difficult for me. I also feel self-doubt. The situation is not the easiest either. The relationship between the team and me, which is a little cold, yes, it is no longer the great love affair it was. Nevertheless, my own expectations are still very high. He then revealed how things have changed since it was confirmed that this journey won't continue beyond 2020. Since it has been known that our paths are going separate ways, the situation has changed. I'm not as involved as I used to be. I don't mean to say that I'm biding my time, but what really matters now is what lies immediately in front of me. He then explained how they failed. Anything that goes beyond that should no longer interest me. It won't do me any good, and neither will it for Ferrari. We as a team have tried a lot in the past few years, but the bottom line is that you put it very bluntly, we failed, because we didn't win. Vettel then pointed out those aspects of the sport that he still enjoys. I'm still fascinated by the speed, that special feeling when I'm behind the wheel. These are moments in which you lose yourself, but in a positive way, where I don't think about anything else. I enjoy this freedom. He then divulged if he believes in Guardian Angels. Yes and no. I have a few quirks. For example, on race days I put 2 coins in my shoe. I'm not overly superstitious, but somewhere I think they could help me. He then gave his opinion on whether he will be able to win with Aston Martin. Absolutely. I believe that the new project offers a lot of opportunities. It is clear that it will not happen overnight, but I believe in a completely different mood, a different goal to bring the team forward, with the experience I have and with what I can do behind the wheel. Vettel signed off by revealing how long he plans to stay in F1. I'm 33 now. At 40, I don't want to drive anymore, so anything between 3 and 7 years could be realistic. Fast feed. Williams' Nicholas Latifi has admitted that Turkey was the hardest conditions he's had to drive in his life. He further pointed out that this was only his second time driving Formula 1 cars in the rain. It wasn't even rain, this was ice. Worse than ice. McLaren's Lando Norris feels that his move on Williams' George Russell wasn't aggressive because it's not. It's the track's fault, not his fault. 2020 world champion Lewis Hamilton feels that he's only just getting started. It's really weird. He added that he wants to help Formula 1 and to help Mercedes in that journey, and also moving to be more sustainable. He also feels that F1 needs to face and not ignore the human rights issues that are around the countries that they go to. Haas driver Kevin Magnussen feels that they had a really good speed in the car, so once again it's very sad they've missed a points opportunity this time because of a pit stop error. He also feels that there's nobody else to blame but themselves, and they need to fix this going forward. Alfa Romeo's Kimi Raikkonen thinks that if it had been completely full wet, then it would have been better for them. Luckily the guys that they are racing against didn't score any points, so it's okay. His team principal, Frederic Vasseur, added to that by pointing out how they didn't lose any ground on their championship rivals, and are one step closer to confirming 8th place in the standings with 3 races left. Mercedes team principal, Toto Wolff, thinks that the run for 7 consecutive titles is not something they would have imagined as ever been possible, and he added that they have learned from the past. In any circumstances you need to avoid a sense of entitlement and stay humble. Should F1 push for more sustainability in the sport? Head over to my community page to vote in the poll and let me know what you think in the comments. And if you like this video, feel free to subscribe and check out my others for all the latest in the world of Formula 1.